Welcome back to another reaction for I Want to End This Love Game episode 6. Okay, back in the past. Hmm.
どうした？寝れないのか？寒いから寂しい気持ちになるんだぞ。若菜、また横になってる。
Why are you not cuddling with her? Right? If you're like, oh, you get lonely because you're cold, cuddle with her, right? But we got a little bit of a glimpse of the past again, whenever her grandma died. Okay. Another reason why she likes him. Yeah, sure. Fuck you.
陽キャとの体育しんど。
びっくりしてやんの。今日は暑いね。はい、どうぞ。むふ、マネージャーみたいでドキッとしちゃった？
飲み物渡すだけがマネージャーじゃねえぞ。
もう体育館すっごく暑くてさ、そろそろクーラー欲しいよね。
本当にな。お前汗だくじゃん。そのままじゃ風邪ひくぞ。拭いて。ちゃんと拭いとけよ。汗くせえから。
え？
お前が嫌がることはしないから。
I would question him, why does he, well, why is he smelling me? Right? I mean, okay, so he's very careful. Understandable. As a guy, I would see it the same way. There are some boundaries you don't really want to cross too much. Like he was saying, oh, I'm going to wipe the sweat off you, which would be a very nice, aggressive way to deepen their relationship. However, it is a line to cross to go into physical contact. And he's like, maybe not. Unless I'm pretty sure I can get away with it.
あの時から心なしか、ユキヤの攻めが控えめな気がするんだよね。
Maybe you have to be even more aggressive.
私に遠慮とかなめっぷしすぎなんじゃないの？ユキヤのくせに生意気。別にそんな気にしなくても、もっと来てくれてもいいんだけどな。
汗くせえから。
いや、待って。本当か？本当にそうか？遠慮とか気を使ってくれたとかじゃなくて。
He's a pervert, yeah. He wanted to smell you all sweaty.
私に女の子としての
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's an easy way to test this. Straight up. It's a very daring approach.
魅力がまだ全然足りてないってことなんじゃ。
I also don't understand where this is coming from.
ミクちゃんすっごく可愛いと思うけどな。
Isn't this her sister? His sister?
お兄もミクちゃんのこと、あと意識はしてるんじゃないかな。そうだよね。そう思う？でもあいつ全然認めようとしないしさ、悔しい。
Maybe it's because of the game. Maybe you should stop the game officially. Maybe you should just give up. You should capitulate. And then you can have an idea now. If you stopped the game, as example, you are like, hey, I lost, you won, game is over. Now this would sever your connection with him through the game. And if he's really not interested in you, then there's not really much of a reason to be connected to one another. So you may lose a bit more. However, if you are still connected after the game, then you can explore if he's maybe interested. Just try. You have to go a little bit farther. Because the problem is, I feel like even if he was telling you he sees you as a girl, you would be like, does he really?
もしかしたらなんだけどさ、こないだお兄このゲームのシーンを見て満開にしてあげる。お兄。
これはでかい。
とか言ってたよ。プリンセスフローラル。
Yeah, you cannot. You cannot fight against that. There's always like the dream kind of idea of what you maybe want, but physical properties are one thing. Emotional connection is still very important. A lot of the physical stuff, you can live with a lot of stuff. You know, you like big breasts. You probably don't need a girlfriend with double Ds. Or a girlfriend with smaller breasts is fine enough if you connect with them emotionally and it's a good relationship, as example. So being like, I mean, you can try. You can try to stuff your bras. Not that it would help much.
やっぱり私がないから。
You're not flat, first off. Second, South Korea, I heard, is pretty good at, beautification.
火力がエグすぎるってさ。火力って何？ここに夢と希望が。
How are they small?
詰まってないから。そんなのありえくない？これだから男は。こんな時こそ少女漫画を参考にしてみよう。いやでも漫画はリアル。
Yeah, the problem is also, unless you go with some 18 plus manga, you're not getting good advice. Manga, I feel like, has some of the worst romance types ever, so you're not getting anything out of that. In her case, if she really wants to know, she really wants to see if he's attracted. You know, just sleep in his bed in underwear. You will see. I mean, theoretically, be more aggressive than that. But then you are really sure, is he attracted to you or not?
じゃないし。分かってないな、ミクちゃんは。
You know she's younger than you, right? She's like 2 or 3 years younger. How do you expect her to know about romance more than you?
そもそも少女漫画っていうのは50年以上の歴史があって、その多くは恋について書かれてきたんだよね。千差万別の恋が書かれてきているわけだから、ユキヤが少女漫画参考にしてたのは若菜ちゃんの影響だったのか。で、私の調べによると少女漫画は 97% が恋を成就させててね。まあつまり少女漫画を参考にすればミクちゃんの悩みも解決するに決まってるんだよね。まあそうか。一理あるかも。
The first thing you are going to read is that you need to give him the cold shoulder, right? Because that is one of the biggest tropes.
俺のものになれよ。
ネクタイ曲がって。あれ？お弁当作ってきちゃいました。なんか私たちって結構少女漫画みたいなことしてるくない？なのになんでうまくいかないの？やっぱりもっと踏み込むしか。
Okay.
何かないかな。もっと。
Mm.
まだやってないことが。
今日親いないから。
For some reason, my first visual point was him standing in the hallway and her standing behind him, trying to do the same and saying, "My parents aren't home today." Not being able to reach because she's small, he's tall. Also, the mom being like in the hallway, totally confused.
止まってけば。
これだ。
But yeah, he has to do that, not you.
今夜は初めての二人きりの夜だな。
ユキヤの毛布、ユキヤの匂いがして安心する。
Is that a dream?
でもこれじゃユキヤが風邪ひいちゃうね。私が包んであげる。
She wouldn't do that.
俺の負けだ。
That is also not happening.
今まで。
Now, if it goes in this direction, I know you would still be confused, but as a man, I can tell you this is a pretty good indicator that he is attracted to you. I would give it like a 50%, 55%, so it's a pretty good chance.
意地張ってたけど。
なんてでもどうやって私から言うの？泊まらせてって。
泊まり？俺んちに？お前ゲームを口実に俺とそういうことがしたいだけなんじゃねえの？
Just tell him yes.
はあ、はしたないやつだな。
違うお前が私にドキドキしないからここまで体張ってんだろ。っていうか全然そんなの期待してないから。
Oh? Okay, so I'm not a girl, I know, shocker. But as a guy, this is what we would naturally think. We wouldn't really have, at least I don't really have like a horizontal viewpoint, more vertical. So there's like a goal. The goal is get together, and getting together means, you know, being together a lot of times, having physical relationships, emotional stuff, sharing a lot of stuff. Not really, I don't really think about horizontal stuff like, oh, this means we could go to the cinema, to a park, to the festival, and can enjoy some time. We can meet the parents, we can eat together. It's, you know, more or less, what are the stages? I don't know how girls look at it. Now, again, they are also younger. This is a little bit different. But are they not also being like, okay, we have all the stuff we can do and we're already doing flirting and stuff, but there is a goal of getting together, holding hands, kissing, cuddling, more physical relationships. Is that never really like something they want? Because she's like, it's not like I want that. Or I'm not hoping for that kind of thing to begin with. Naturally, maybe not yet. Not jumping across all the steps between. But wouldn't you want to be together with him? This is a pretty intimate thing to do, being together. More or less naked, even just naked and cuddling is already very intimate. Wouldn't you be happy about that? Again, different viewpoint for me. But it always sounds like they are not really interested in that for some reason.
でも普通に遊びに行くくらいはできたらいいのにな。昔みたいにもうどれくらいお家に上がってないかな。
You were over recently, so he can make your hair. So, not that long.
今日からよろしくね、ゆきやくん。
あら、みくちゃん、おはよう。入れよ。一緒にゲームしようぜ。
What you could do if you are really sneaky, you could be like, let's go out, watch a little movie. You know, you go to the cinema, watch a movie, you go eat a little bit, and then it's like, ooh, the trains are not running anymore. Let's find a place to stay over, kind of thing. That way you would spend at least the evening together, right?
みくちゃん、おかわりどう？
大丈夫です。
さあ、遠慮しなくていいからね。お母さん、おかわり、あとふりかけ。あんたは自分でよそいなさい。
お兄、お醤油。ドライヤー使っていいか聞くの忘れた。
Okay, I mean, this is the beginning, right? Whenever she started being there. Because I feel like I'm the same. I would ask for all the stuff before I'm lived in, essentially, like after a week or so. And then I would just do most of the stuff. Because I need to find out what is the distance here. Is it like, hey, you're part family, what we can do, you can do, kind of deal? Or is it like, you know, you're a temporary guest, we don't, we want to care for you, which always feels like you are not really allowed to do too much?
あ、さくら。お母さんが見てない隙にこっそり作って飲んでるんだ。早く見つかんないうちに。
ありがとう。
I mean, they want to showcase that he's so sweet. I would like him to have like a sentence and now you're my accomplice, so you can't snitch on me, kind of deal. A little bit playful.
あんまジョリジョリしてる。
お前のは粉多めにしたからな。遠慮すんなよ。さくらがしょぼくれてるから特別な。
あのね、ドライヤー借りてもいい？
くもう一回だ。俺は今から本気出す。
いいよ。
So her grandma died. I assumed she was keeping her company most of the time. And then she got... They put her with their friend. Now it looked like the parents are coming back. I don't know if they had to maybe go somewhere to deal with the grandma and all the stuff and family, or if they had to do some work stuff.
本当にお世話になりました。ミク、明日からママずっとお家にいられるようになったから。本
明日ゲームの続きどうする？
当？もちろん。よかったわね。仲良くなって。愛してるよ、ユキヤ。もしかして。
で、
I mean, there is psychologically, you can override your brain, right? There's like the idea that you can smile in front of the mirror and more or less it puts you in a better mood. Because there's like the cognitive dissonance that your brain really dislikes. So if you have a bad day, but you see yourself smiling, your brain is like, I can't be having that bad of a day, right? Because I'm smiling. Smiling means I'm happy. So I'm a little bit happy somehow. So instead of being like, no, this can't be, the brain convinces itself that at least a little bit of happiness exists. And I believe the same, from what I heard, is true for stuff like love. You can more or less learn to love people. So this could have been one of those rare instances where her saying that more or less triggered some emotions that then got reinforced over and over again until they became real. Which is also very strong. If you have a thought about something, that's fine. If you vocalize it, then that has a far stronger effect.
で、こうじゃないか。
あ、そうか。
And she was a little bit embarrassed, a little bit bashful.
あのさ、今日は勉強。やっぱいいや。ごめんね。なっちゃん。今日なっちゃん家で勉強会しない？若菜ちゃん、どうした？あ、聞いてみくちゃん。今日お父さんお母さんが友達の結婚式でいなくて。
She already was not listening anymore. Your parents are gone. I have $50. You go and have fun.
ただいま。若菜、キムチ鍋食いたいって言ってたけど。
So she's cooking because, oh, your parents are not here. So I deigned myself to take care of you like a good neighbor would.
ニラが売ってなくてさ。
おかえりなさい。あな。
You have to say it. I mean, even if you don't really want to try it, for the sake of the game, you have to say it.
ご飯にする？お風呂にする？それともリグマ？
A league battle. I would rather end myself.
あんでどうした？固まっちゃって。私がなんて言うかドキドキしちゃったか？
いやいやいやいやいやいやいや
I don't understand. Why didn't you say it? I mean, this is all, yeah, for the jokes. Ha 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 ha. It would be. I feel like most people in this situation would do the sentence correctly. The whole watashi. So that it just is a very strong strike in this moment. He's unprepared, you are appearing, he is flustered, you are hitting him with that shot, he is going to go down. But instead of having an easy win, you go and make a joke.
なんでエプロンつかなんでうちに？
若菜ちゃんから連絡来てさ、今日おじさんおばさんお友達の結婚式で四国にお泊まりなんだって。
お
で、どうするの？ご飯？お風呂？リグマ？
ご飯。
オッケー。明日の分までたっぷり作ってあげるからね。変じゃなかったかな。意識してるのバレなかったかな。
今日親いないから泊まってけば。
今日はご飯作りに来ただけ。ご
Sure.
飯作りに来ただけだから。
And then it's too late and you're like, oh man, the trains, they don't run anymore. I guess I have to stay here. Even though you live next door. I mean, I can't go home.
どうぞ上がって。
Where did
お
Wakana
邪
go?
魔します。全然変わってない。ユキヤの家の匂い。ソファーもっと大きくなかったっけ？今日こそこのソファーに勝利を刻む。美少女が家でお料理作ってくれるなんて男の子が耐えられるわけないもんね。ガン攻めし
If you were to do that, that would be okay. So that would be respectable. But you are not. You are not going to do that. Also, Victory Apron. You know, there is a version of an apron that has quite a punch.
一瞬でユキヤをノックアウトしてやる。私の魅力分かってくれた？
Yeah, you are never going to do that.
いや、ただ誘惑。
I say I still too young. Because I would say she needs to drink something to lift some of the inhibitions. Just a little bit.
すればいいってわけじゃない。私はユキヤに可愛いって言ってもらうんだから。
You need a bigger bowl, I guess.
ミクが俺ん家で飯作ってくれるってなんだそれ最高すぎる。同じミクが目の前にいるはずなのにあの頃とは全然違う。あった。普段俺が過ごしてる空間にミクがいるっていうだけで。
何？そんなつったって。 もしかして私のエプロン姿がぶっ刺さっちゃったか？
こいつ急に押しかけてきたと思ったらやっぱそういうことか。は？それエプロンだったのか？でかいよだれかけかと思ったぜ。それより何作ってるんだ？
肉じゃが。
へえ、じゃあデザートは？
Hey. See? He knows what's up.
お前がいい。じゃあデザートは？
なんだこの手は。あ、そっか。おかえりのハグしてなかったっけ？いいよ、しよう。と。
ってまだ洗ってなかったから、若菜が腹壊したら大変だからな。
I can understand why he didn't want to do his for dessert I choose you kind of deal. Because again, there's this boundary he doesn't want to cross. Because he is scared that if he does that, she's going to go away. Again, he's a guy. He's very physical, right? But she is more verbal. So, but pulling back from the hug is a bit weird.
ちょっと待って。もしかしてこれ聞いてるくない？ユキヤさ、肉じゃが甘いの好きだったよね。味見してくれる？
おう。
待って。どうしたの？もう大丈夫だよ。もしかして恥ずかしくなっちゃった？それとももっとフーフーしてほしいのかな？
やめろ、唾が飛ぶだろうが。まあうまい方なんじゃないか。
でしょ？美味しいでしょ？
俺のウルトラベストな味だった。
やっぱりメタメタ刺さってんじゃない？そっか。
Didn't he say this was my absolute favorite flavor? Wouldn't it make more sense for him to say that it tastes fantastic? Because it doesn't really have to do with the game, and it is going to give her a compliment, and compliments are normally a good way to get the other side to blush if you're embarrassed.
そっか。大丈夫？指切らないでね。左手は猫の手にするんだよ。
バカにすんなよ。俺だって包丁くらい使えるわ。
すごい、ちゃんと斜め切りしてる。やっぱ普段から車に構えてるから斜め得意なの？
最近味噌汁とか作ってるからな。
え？ユキヨが？じゃあ作ってよ、お味噌汁。
バカか、そう簡単に俺の味噌汁
Get a room, you two, right?
が食えると思うなよ。
食べる前から甘くて胸焼けしそう。
I mean, that is a big meal. He did say she wasn't making enough for tomorrow as well.
すごい、さすがミクちゃん。ユキヤも手伝ってくれたからね。
Eh.
じゃあ私は帰るね。
No. Why would you head home? You cooked, you eat. Simple as that. Number one rule: you cook the food, you eat the food, unless you get paid. Then you don't get to eat. I'm sorry. But if you don't get paid, you eat what you cook.
一緒に食べていかないの？あ、うん。ご飯作りに来ただけだしね。私はうちで。
食ってけよ。あ あれだ、夕飯二人きりってのは若菜寂しいよな。
そうだよ。お兄も寂しがってるしさ。せっかく久しぶりにうち来たんだから、みくちゃんがよかったらだけど、もっとゆっくりしてってよ。じゃあお言葉に甘えてもいいけど。
Yeah, but before we eat, you do need to take a bath, right? Isn't that how you do it? Take a bath first, eat then?
一応ママに連絡しとくね。あれ？
Hmm. That does not sound good. Oh. Her mom is probably like, hey, yeah, I can't come home today because I have so much work to do. Right.
ママ？
By the way, this message would have been enough. If you call someone multiple times and they don't answer, give them just a message so they know what is going on.
ミク、よかった。大丈夫？
え？
さっきお家に忘れ物取りに戻ったら鍵開いたままで誰もいなかったから。
ごめん、慌てて出たから。
慌てて来てくれたのか。
No staying over?
あのさ、今日は悪かったな。なんかお前があんな大人みたいな慣れた感じで料理してるのを見てちょっとびっくりした。若菜嬉しそうだったし、まあ普通に助かったし、ありがとな。
送ってくれてありがとね。おやすみ。
どうした？
So she doesn't have her keys. Okay. This is how we do this. I see. Also, why didn't he say you would make a good wife? Sometimes it's like, hey, we are playing this game, but sometimes we are not playing the game. Right?
今日急いでお家出たから、鍵家に置きっぱなしにしちゃったみたい。
お、
ママ鍵閉めて夜勤行っちゃって。
I mean, it wouldn't even be embarrassing. She's locked out. You come over to my home at least. We will see what we can do. If need be, you sleep in the bed, I guess. I sleep on the couch.
じゃあうち泊まる？
It is not like they are alone. There's still the sister, who's like, hey, what are we doing here? Right? Yeah, sometimes I feel like the game is going on and sometimes they just don't do some of the obvious attacks. Because that is how they see it, right? Yeah, but as long as the game is going on, there is never going to be any progress. Because no side wants to concede defeat. At least she got to be she got to relive some of her past, being inside that home, being together with the guy and his sister. They probably are going to play some games, have a little bit fun, eat some snacks. And then we will see if there's something else going to happen. She also needs to take a bath, right? Wakana's clothes are too small, so she needs to take some of his clothes. Yeah, I can definitely see where we are going. Now, are we getting any real progress? Is she going to be really aggressive, or is she going to pull back?